Yeah, hello everyone. We're here again. This is the Minority Report Nigeria. I'm Walter, and
I'm Dozie.
today we're talking about we're going to talk about something that has been going viral. Oh, it went viral last week. This whole issue about that Jaruma magazine posted on
On
Twitter
Twitter.
about a woman who got married to a man who turned out to be gay.
Sadiya Lawal and
Yeah,
Hamisi
Sadiya. The woman's
Mohammed.
name is Sadiya Lawal, and her husband is Hamisu. And it went through this whole torrid story about how they got married. She fell in love with him on their wedding day. She wanted to have sex with him, and the man, of course, didn't want to. And for some years, I think
3 years.
they had a very, very brotherly, sisterly relationship. And then she gets her period. It's usually with the period. You come home early, and then she sees her husband, you know, having sex with her dad, and there's this whole thing, this whole drama with the knife, with blood and everything. So yeah, and while the topic has been going back and forth, it has been trending with a lot of people weighing in on the issue, and people saying, looking for where to like say, okay, this is where the whole fault is from. And I want to say something about what BC Alimi said on his Instagram, which I kind of sort of agree with, and that's where I'm coming from. Although my co-host,
Actually, I'm just saying it and I clearly do not agree already.
it says, oh, this says, dear straight women, I have no pity for you because as long as you support homophobia and patriarchy, you will keep marrying gay men. Okay.
First off, for me, I
Wait,
find that
can I
statement
land?
okay, land, sorry.
Let me see. But here's the thing. I'm not. My view isn't quite as generalized and as
Exactly, I hear blanket
blanket
statements.
as
That's
this
very blanket.
opinion. But I do kind of hold the society responsible for
Yeah.
issues like this because yes, there is when the problem is when you get a man who is in his 30s or 40s and you start hammering at him, get married, get married, get married. The family is coming at him with all sorts of responsibilities. The establishments, even like, apparently I heard that there are some people who don't get promoted unless they
Yeah,
get
their
married.
jobs. I'm definitely writing about that.
Like you have a societal structure that is put together to only favor those who are
I'm married.
and it just doesn't affect women, it affects men as well. So when you have that kind of structure in place that discourages men from just entertaining even the image of being gay, whether by how single they are or how in a relationship with other men they are, then you are telling them go and get married to women.
Okay, first,
And it's still
yeah.
like that.
First, with the problem I had with that business post is it was two blankets.
Yes, it
You
was.
know,
And
straight
it was,
women. And this is the problem I've had. There was this post recently on Rustin Times which sort of told the same line. Straight women do not owe gay people or bisexual people or whatever shit. And I know I am speaking, I can speak with some level of authority when I say that the biggest allies of the Nigerian gay man, the Nigerian bisexual man, tend to be straight women
no,
or no,
no.
okay, based on my experiences.
I used to think that, but then when you go on the social media, you get
Okay,
the
let me rephrase based on my own experiences, but generally, women are. It's easier for women to embrace,
sure.
queer people than the very heterosexual, human, straight male, whatever. And speaking to this Jaruma magazine story, when I read this thread, I was like, are you serious? Husband and father. And I was really irritated by the people who were coming on to say, oh my God, I'm so shocked. This is unbelievable. How can you be shocked? This is the underside of you saying all straight people, all gay people should be killed, all of that. You cannot, have it both ways. you cannot push for the demonization of gay people, make people feel insecure, feel less than in their skin, and still be shocked. Where do you get off doing that? Still, personally, I will not excuse the behavior of the Hamisa Mohammed, the husband. Not just for the fact that he was stupid enough after, the entire thing blew up to go and remarry.
And that's actually a point where I have a problem with him.
I have a problem with the entire thing.
No, that is the beginning of where I have a problem with him. Wait, let me explain.
Okay.
Here's I've heard of stories where, and that's the way it usually goes, where gay men who get into marriages just for that one-time validation of heterosexuality.
I was once married.
To
a woman.
To a woman, No, it didn't work out. You know what? I was so hurt by it. I don't want to go into it again. Then you stop there. That ends it. When anybody who questions you, you've been married before. It doesn't. That you've sought that validation once. It has happened. You've been blessed by it. Society tends not to go delve into deep any longer.
Yeah.
If you can hold on. If you can, hold on, firm. If you actually mean to, protect, if you're actually serious about being honest with yourself, about being truthful with your sexuality, when it has happened once and has ended in disaster, you end it there. But then when he goes on to get married again, it just shows a man who's pathologically lying to himself, or pathologically cowardly to himself, and very relentlessly, reluctant to face up to the fact that you are destroying lives.
But doing it the first time?
Well, no, the first time
at all.
Wait, no. See,
terrible.
Listen, I make room for the fact that people are, there are different makeups for different people, circumstances, familial circumstances, even physical, like psychological makeups. That people who are extremely brave enough to withstand, to tell themselves like, look, what, I can't do this and I will never do this no matter what. And there are people who have familial circumstances, parents who are not so focused on pushing them to get married, or they don't really mind, or they have other siblings, a host of siblings who have, really done it, and then you can say, oh well, but brother, somebody got married and has given you grandchildren, so I'm fine. So there are different situations that allow for people to make the decisions they make. And when the first time, I want to make room for the possibility that the first time he got married to Sadiya, he had to because of some extenuating circumstances.
But
I see these things.
Walter, is it that there is no option C? Is it you either get married to a straight woman or you don't get married at all, or there are arrangements that can be made.
Nigeria and,
seriously. Okay, in the same way, it's almost as if it's only it's only gay men who get pressured to get married to somebody of the opposite sex. What about there are gay women who also get pressured?
Yeah, but yes, I know.
Is it possible for two people in this situation? If you are trying to, find your way around this box, is it impossible for two people in this situation to have an arrangement and have look at us marriage?
Yes,
it's not impossible.
Yeah, I know. Okay, that's an option.
Yes, of course, that's an option. But there are ways if you really have to operate under the umbrella of heteronormativity. There are other options. It's not, I think there's something, for me personally, I think there's something really devious about getting into a marriage with somebody who's completely clueless as to, and then you're bringing other people into this, you're bringing children into this mix. It's just, I don't know.
I've heard of very, very callous cases where a particular man, he got married to a woman. They had kids, and he just wasn't like, he kept the family in Abuja and was doing his thing in Port Harcourt. Like, he was so callously exercising his family away from his actual life. And in my mind, I'm like,
children,
why didn't you get married to her and then divorce her like a year later or so? Like, why did you have to go on to, get married, have kids, if you were not going to follow through with being a family man?
That is why I am very wary of even at all, trying to justify that duplicity at all. Like, it rankles for me. Why would you do that to another person?
Whenever I think about this kind of matrimonial matches, there's also another connotation that we don't even consider, that it perpetuates this impression that to be gay is something you can kill. I remember in
Yes.
this group I mean on Facebook is for men. And when these issues were coming up, this Jerome magazine story was trending, and we're talking about it. There was this sense by most of the men in there that, oh well, they get married, so they must be straight or they must be bisexual. There's this unbelievable cancellation of a person's homosexuality simply because he got married.
But seriously, generally, that's the way we tend to see marriage. Marriage cures all ills. A woman can be very poorly behaved, but she
It's
tell
a
you,
very shocking
I am
ignorance.
married,
And
I
yeah,
am
every
Mrs.
time,
So it comes
every
down to
time
the fact that
I
you're
hear,
complete idiots.
whenever I hear it shocks me that ignorance persists. Like, how can you even? I feel like children really need to read. We need to spend some time really reading. Like, okay. I remember during one of those arguments, one man said, somebody said, who said something about how your father, what would you do if your father was gay? If you found out that your father was gay or something like that. In the context of that whole, okay, what about children? When the children come up and then they now suddenly realize that their father is gay. So somebody asked that question like, what would you do if your father was gay? And
What if your father was straight?
somebody made a comment like, how can he be gay? Is he not a father? Like,
Oh my god!
like
that just
like being gay suddenly
that-
makes you capable of having children or
that
what?
takes gold for ridiculousness.
And that is the thing that these false marriages, that's the kind of lie it perpetuates. That's the problem. That's
Yes.
an issue I have. I am very understanding of the fact that there are people who have, there are different reasons why people have to get married. Yeah, they have pressure from family. They have a fear of coming out of the closet. They have actually a genuine need of having children. They love children, and there are some who need the validation of. There are some gay men who actually still believe in the tradition of family being about a man and a woman and children.
Please be internalized homophobia. At the end of the day.
So it's it's a reality that happen, and it doesn't help sometimes when you go on all these social media posts that talk about these issues, and then you come there and you see women who are just really going at it, like really hammering the wall.
That's the point. I like the shock. And here's the thing: like
And
you,
even
you,
like-
you are being shocked, and in the same breath of being shocked, you are saying something really, really flagrantly homophobic. And I'm like,
At some point, you feel like,
you
know
like,
what, you deserve to get.
why are you so confused? I will never go that far. But
I get really pissed off.
It
When I
gets
see-
annoying.
See, when sometimes it's just like having a homophobic. Whenever we're talking about children, parents being more loving towards their children, and you don't have you have people fuming and frothing at the mouth. You want to say, you know what? Maybe you should have a gay child. Maybe you should have just one son or one daughter.
And then we'll
let her
see
come
what
out
you
and
would
say,
do.
Mommy, Daddy, I am gay. That would teach you to be, because all these things people look at it as when they become more than statistics. When they become more
yes,
than
there's
things
a difference
that abstract
to
issues.
depersonalize.
When it becomes personal, then you really, really understand that the humanity aspect of it. When
Of
you're
it.
facing, like I've encountered many stories of many people who talk about how they used to be so and so,
And then they
their
met
brother
somebody,
came
or their
out,
brother
their
came
sister
out, or their
and then
sister
suddenly
came
you
out.
realize, oh, this person I've always loved. It's actually like this. So it makes it more personal for you. It makes it more. It puts a face to it. So the point is, at the end of it, we just need to understand something. Whenever we are being prejudicial about certain issues, think about how the fact that these things are pertaining to human beings.
And the bigger problems you create.
Yes, the more you the more you channel your fire against to support your prejudice against certain
minorities,
issues. Think
yeah.
about how they affect human beings and how, in a roundabout way, it comes back to affect
yes.
you.
Because here's the thing, we will continue to have situations like Sadiya's so long as, we have
I mean, hey,
the
in the US, there's an actual association. I've forgotten the name, but it is made up. They're basically wives of gay men. Like that's an actual association. I kid you not. I was reading wives of gay men. Like these women are women whose husbands have been outed, who have suddenly realized, oh my god,
Oh
I'm
my
married to a
God.
gay man, and they have come together, and their tone is usually tolerance because
Tolerance, of
they've
course.
understood that this is what happens when you foster a
And
society.
it doesn't
that-
have to.
It doesn't have
It
to.
doesn't have to.
You know. You know.
So we have to do better.
There are narratives. There are people. There are scold. There are people berating Hamisu. You know, on the
As he should be.
that yes. There are people who are saying he should have been man enough to not get married at all, and that is true. But you see, sometimes
What is man enough, if I hate that?
when you are maybe possibly an only child, and you have a mother who has managed to wrap you neatly into the guilt of that the child is supposed to have whenever he disobeys the mother or the dad. When you are totally enmeshed in your family, like we tend to be in Nigeria, we are too, family values and too tradition and everything.
Yeah.
These are all the things that contribute to it, that contribute to taking away people's individuality. When you have to think about how
you
you
consider-
disobey
think of
family,
yourself as part
disobey
of a
tradition,
whole
disobey
rather
culture,
than-
disobey this and this and that, disobey pastor, disobey church member, disobey congregation. You just don't want to be individual anymore. You just want to join everybody and do what everyone is doing. And that doesn't help. We should be in a society that encourages people to be individual, encourages people to be themselves. Like somebody said, why would he have a problem with gay men when they are doing themselves and leaving more women for them? Like that's a very well, that's interesting thing to consider.
perspective, yes.
When you want them to not love themselves, well, they then share the women with you, and they put your mothers and your sisters and your daughters into so much misery. Why not just let them be? Why not let the women be?
The long and short of it is, none of us is free until all of us are free. That sums
That
it all
is a
up.
wisdom from someone I know. Someone, I think a president or something. Not our president.
Definitely not.
But yes, at the end of the day, we can't all be free unless everyone is free.
Yes.
That's
So we all have to do better, basically. On that note, we will call it a day on today's episode. See you
Yes.
guys next time. Until then, I am Dozie.
and I'm Walter. And this is Minority.